Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a little while. Welcome back to Box Football. This is kind of the classic intro that me and James give every time because we're both so busy and we've both got so much going on. So we start every video by apologizing that it's been too long. Now the season is back up and running. I'm hoping that we're going to be getting you some videos a little bit more on the weekly side of things. But anyway, we're going to talk about our top six predictions. It's getting dangerously close to the first weekend of the Premier League season. James, first of all, how are you? What's going on?
Um, incredibly busy, incredibly tired, but I've been waiting to do this for a while. This video was pending, but I think I'm ready to get this show on the road for sure. Let's get it in, Jack.
So I think I don't want to give any like massive fluff because we can get into each of the topics and each of the teams that we go for, any hot takes that come up. Let's go from six all the way up to number one. Let's predict our top six for the Premier League coming up here. Who do you have, James, in sixth position, and what's your quick summary as to why you think they're going to finish
You
there?
know what? I feel like I'm excited for the Premier League, but the teams that we've seen like really strong last year, I feel like they're weakened. Villa, lost a couple of players. Obviously they've been dealing with the whole financial issue there. Newcastle United, the exact same thing. What's going to happen with Isak? Looks like he's going to join Chelsea. I mean, he looks like he's going to join Liverpool. And just overall, they haven't really been able to strengthen the team as well as they would like to. And also they've been restricted. This is Jack. This is tough because I'm looking at it. Who's going to be this? I think there might be a surprise element here. Is it a Everton maybe coming back? Is it a maybe Nottingham Forest having another top six finish? But I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be quite simple here, and I'm going to say Spurs. Um, Now that's a big jump. Have we ever seen a team went from? I know Leicester won the Premier League, but a team goes from 17th all the way to sixth, which I think that would be a great position for Spurs to finish, and definitely a bonus based on their league position last year. But some strong additions, obviously losing Son, but bringing in a player like Kudus, bringing in a player like Paulinho there is going to be a massive thing. And I think also with the Champions League football, that may hinder them just a tad bit. But I like what they've done, and just looking at Thomas Frank, he's going to be really direct, and he's going to be really difficult to play with. But I don't think that they have enough quality to break that top five ceiling. But top six to me will be a great season for Tottenham, if I'm being honest.
So look, I'm not too dissimilar. I do have Spurs, but I have them seventh. And I will potentially do a video at some point doing my top 20. Yeah, James, they've gone from an absolute psychopath as a manager who refuses to change the way he plays to get decent results, apart from a one-off worst Europa League final I think we've ever seen. Yeah, they finished 17th. It was shocking. It's really poor. And a couple of other results don't go their way. We're talking about Spurs as a relegated team. And that's not a crazy thing to say. They didn't finish 12th or no, 17th is just safe, right? So yeah, I don't have them there, but I do have them seventh. I think Thomas Frank solves some very easy, has some very easy solutions to some of their problems last year. I like the signing of Kudus. They're going for Savinho from Man City. I think they'll bring in a couple of players. And James, it's a relatively young squad. I think they'll improve. Jumping up to seventh, I don't think it's too crazy. And this is going to be a bit of a theme for me in my Premier League predictions. There's a lot of teams who aren't as good as they were last year. There are more teams that are worse than teams that have gotten better, in my opinion, just based on the way the market has panned out. Sixth, I have Man United. And I think Man United are going to be the team that profit from all these other teams not doing very well. You mentioned some of those teams there. Um, there's a little bit of projection that has to take place here, right? So do Man United get Carlos Baleba? I don't know. But based on the way this window's gone, I didn't expect them to get half the players they've already gotten, and they've gotten them. There's these sponsorship deals, there's all sorts going on. They're going to sell a couple of players. I actually think we might see some crazy bid for Carlos Baleba come in, and maybe they'll get their guy. They will benefit from not being in Europe. This is Ruben Amorim's kind of last chance. They have this whole squad, whole new front three to then just kind of attack this season. All this extra prep time, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. I think they're going to benefit from it. James, I did not know you were hiding that under there. That's sick. Um, um, but yeah, I've got Man United in there. I think they miss out on their dream, which is probably Champions League. And again, much like I referred to Spurs, we're not going to see Man United and Spurs, in my opinion, clip me up, finish in the bottom half again. I would say this upcoming year. Right, James. I think we'll just flip flop back and forth here because they're already set. Who have you got in fifth position?
Fifth position. Again, this was a tough one, but I think Jack hit the nail on the head there. Europe is a massive thing, and I think that the Premier League, in terms of view of certain teams have been restricted, has gotten a little bit worse, and it's going to give them a lot of space. And Jack mentioned the fact that the signing that they made, and obviously not having Europe and Amarin having to make a big splash this year, and obviously they've gotten people out the door that don't really need to be there right now. I got Manchester United finishing fifth to make the Champions League football. Now, again, let's be honest to ourselves. Real people know that finishing fifth is not Champions League football, but just the way it is right now, the way it is right now, they're going to get Champions League football. Do I like what Manchester United have done? No. People go, oh, they signed Buemo, they signed guy from Wolves again.
Cunha.
Cunha. Good Premier League players, but I'm not blown away by this. And let me tell you this, the biggest thing for me, and I need to see it, is how do they adapt to scrutiny, Jack? Because it's all right being able to do it for Wolves and you have a couple bad games there and no one sees, and then you have three blinders and everything's fine. One bad game for Manchester United, one bad touch, everybody sees it. And that's why I said that there's levels to this shit. There's levels to this, you know what, yeah, and how heavy that shirt is for some players, they can't hack it. I hope these guys can do well, because ultimately, Jack, I want to see Manchester United kind of do well for once. I don't know if I'm feeling pity for them, but I just want to see United, at least challenging and just get back to what it is. I think when Man United are doing well, the Premier League is kind of doing well too. So yeah.
So this, I think it's a really good point, and I think it's a good thing to recognise as an Arsenal fan, because anybody who wants to say, "Oh, I don't like Arsenal being good anymore," Premier League's better when Arsenal are good. All this messing around in like sixth, seventh, and blah blah, and the rare times that's happened, it's no good for Arsenal. We do want Arsenal in and around top four with the odd title challenge. It's a more fun and engaging Premier League, and again. Man United is the Premier League's cash cow in that respect, right? It's the of the big three in world football. It's one of those three. It's kind of holding that, and yeah, the league is just better when they're better. Um, Fifth for me is Newcastle. Now, I think this is the most fascinating thing because I think our top fours will be the same, just a different order. This is the one where I think maybe we can have a conversation. So remember, we're projecting, right? There has to be a bit of projection that goes on here. I don't think Alexander Isak is a Newcastle player come the end of the window. That, to me, I think they'll settle on 125, 130 mil. There'll be some sort of compromise where Isak will go. Newcastle, then with PSR and all this fantastic stuff, remember they're owned by the private investment fund of Saudi Arabia. With that Isak money coming in, they're going to have some money to spend. Now, whether that's Visser, whether that's this player, whether that's that player, I do fully expect Newcastle to buy some replacements. Remember, they were in for Benjamin Šeško. They've been in for a couple of other players. I fully expect Newcastle to strengthen. That midfield three is going to be the same midfield three. And Tonali is back. He's had a preseason. It's this whole thing. Defensively, they're good. The wide players are still going to offer the same thing they did. They just need that crown piece at the top. I take your point on the European football thing, but I think with the Isak money, they are going to spend some more money. They got Malik Thiaw from I think it was Milan, which is a nice defensive recruitment in there as well. And I rate Eddie Howe as a manager. I don't know if he ever wins a domestic title in the Premier League. I don't know if he ever lifts a Champions League title, but I do rate Eddie Howe as a very good manager. And I think if they can replace Isak appropriately and just get a couple of bodies in, they are also a team that can benefit from a couple of other teams maybe falling down a little bit. What do you think to Newcastle for me fifth? Because I'm assuming Newcastle aren't in your top four.
My only issue with the whole Newcastle thing is that how much time do they have to sign that player, Jack? Because Isak, Jack,
Sure.
Jack, that's a 20 goal man is like you have to that like you have to embrace. And obviously they wanted the guy to join Liverpool. Sorry guys, I'm butchering names right now.
Ekitike.
Yeah, like Ekitike. But now that he's not there, like who they go out to sign? I think strikers are right now so hard to find, and to find that 20
Yeah.
goal man is so difficult. So I just look at that being the biggest issue. They're not saying that they're not going to be strong this year, but compared to what like what they do have with Isak there, And also, think about how unsettled the camp is right now. Your best player, not sure that he's going to be there. I think that's going to play a big part. In like
Just quickly, I take your point about the time thing, but I think those conversations are happening now. They're not going to wait for Isak to go and then go, right, we better start trying to sign a replacement. Those conversations are happening right now as to lining up the replacement as and when he goes. Right, James. Well, I know fifth is kind of top four now. It really is top five, like you've said, with the Champions League places. But let's get into the proper top four, the old school top four. Who do you have in fourth?
I got Chelsea, Jack, and of course he's a world champions here.
So do I. So do I. I'll just get that out of the way. So do I.
Again, when you look at Chelsea and what they were able to do, I'm not blown away by what they've been able to do, Jack. Why? Because they didn't sign that striker to make you go, wow. Like again, João Pedro's really, really, really good, and I like it there. But is he that Jack? Is he that 20 goal man that's gonna finish chances up all the time?
I think he might be.
If he is, I'll put my hands up there. I like Chelsea, but my biggest thing is that not Chelsea are bad. But the problem is that there's three teams so much more stronger than them, and that's the biggest thing. Are they going to be a problem in Europe? 100%, Jack. Jack, we've seen it with them being able to win the Club World Cup and also win the Europa Conference League. But to outdo those three other teams there is going to be so difficult. And these group of boys, they've taken their licks, they understand it, but do they have that mentality to go a whole 38 games in the Premier League? I don't quite think so. But fourth place finish with the teams, three teams ahead of them, I think is a decent run for Chelsea.
Um, I the goalkeeper's going to let them down. I think with a goalkeeper and one more elite level centre back who can stay fit for a whole year, I think they're actually title contenders. And that's kind of a hot take, but this is a team where soft tissue injuries just absolutely go crazy. So whether that's Colwill, who I think did his ACL, whether that's Fafana, right, who has soft tissue injuries all the time, whether that's Romeo Lavia, who has soft tissue injuries all the time. Those are three unbelievably talented football players, by the way. And if those three are fit and playing week in and week out, keep in mind you've got Reece James, who again is really up there as a probably top three right back in the Premier League when he stays fit, but he doesn't stay fit. That's just not what he does. So that can't be relied upon. I think the changes in the defense, the goalkeeper just mean they're going to concede a bunch of goals. So I think they're going to score a bunch of goals. I do think João Pedro is that guy, and I think he's going to be able to show that off this year. I think Cole Palmer puts a claim in for being the best player in the league this year if Mo Salah drops off and maybe Haaland doesn't hit the heights. And again, James, the way Chelsea are doing transfers, one of these lottery tickets is going to come in. I don't know if it will be Gittins. I don't know if they get Garnacho, if it will be him. You know, I don't know if Liam Delap is going to come through and just be incredible for them. I don't know how it works for them, but they keep getting so many players. They will hit eventually with enough of these lottery tickets to have a fantastic team. I just think the defensive side and the goalkeeper really lets them down. I spoke with a couple of my friends who are Chelsea fans. If I'm Chelsea's director of football, I am breaking that wage structure. I'm paying the money. I'm getting Donnarumma through the door, and then I'll re-sign somebody like Gahey or somebody like that. Solidify that defense, because then I think Chelsea are only two positions away from a title push. Um, who have you got in third, James? We're kind of again we know these three teams, but what order do you have them in?
This is gonna break my heart because I think this is
Oh
the year that we
no,
have to
don't
kind
do
of
it.
do it, but we're just not showing the right ambition in the transfer window, Jack. I got Arsenal third,
I have them. I have them there too, just to say.
and it makes me sick, Jack, because I kept on saying this, Jack, for years. I kept on telling you, everybody this. Strike when the kettle is hot. Everyone's like, oh, wait for City to get this. No, football changes like this. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. When you have the opportunity to strike, and we had that 3 seasons ago, we didn't do it. Everybody said, wait, we have a young squad, we have this, we have that. Jack, this is the most precious season Arsenal have had in years. If we don't deliver here, yeah, we are failures. Forget about it. I don't even want to talk about do we keep the manager and forget about it, Jack? And even the players, I think they're going to doubt themselves even more because you can't keep on going to the well, keep on trying and failing. At some point, players are going to break. Yeah. And the biggest thing with Arsenal, Jack, every single transfer window, we always just seem to be like, "Oh, if only, if only, if only, if only." Why are we doing if only, Jack? You know how important this transfer window is. I'm seeing Man City being linked with Rodrigo. Yeah, I've been seeing this left-hand side thing been going on for years now. Solve it. They haven't done it. Yeah, I want another attacking midfielder. We needed more creative. Why haven't we not brought in these players? We're still going for a lot of defensive stability. I'll give you the striker thing, but we're spending 50 million on not Madueke when like we could have used that for a game breaker, somebody who can do something out of nothing. And I'm just disappointed to see that Liverpool more like going to sign Isak. Like Man City look like they might get Rodrigo, and Arsenal there twiddling their thumbs. And if we do, we might sign another Raheem Sterling signing last minute. And yeah, maybe. It's just so disappointing, Jack. And
Yeah,
I'm fed up with it, Jack. I'll be honest.
yeah. There's no. I bet I hear you. Um, we're not accountants. We're fans. And again, I, in a business sense, I get the argument of, let's control things, let's do this, let's stay sound defensively, let's do a bit of this and a bit of that. But you and I both know you've got to risk it to get the biscuit, right? Liverpool did not sit on their hands from all those seventh and eighth place finishes pre-Klopp. They brought in the manager, they totally changed things, they shot for the stars. Now they're signing Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak in the same window, and a Hugo Ekitike, right? That's the kind of level that they're at. We've seen it with City. Again, we've seen a resurgence from Arsenal, a major resurgence that was a long time coming, and unfortunately, this team won't be around forever. The likes of PSG, the likes of Real Madrid will come calling for the William Salibas of the world. Some of these bigger players will be tempted to move on at some point. And look, I agree with you. I think that there is room on that left wing for a superstar in the ilk of Rodrigo. I think you can bring in another creative midfielder who can come in and do that job. It's just not what we've seen. And after the Madueke deal, I thought a couple more would come. We've just not seen it. I like Zubimendi. I think he releases Rice a little more. I'm praying for a Saka fully fit season the whole way through. I think that's a game changer. Again, I think Gyökeres, I don't think he has any sort of goal return like he did last year. But I do think we see around 15 Premier League goals,
20 plus for me.
which I think I would hope so, but I think he might sit in and around that 15 mark. I still think you're going to be a pretty heavy, set piece controlling type team. And yeah, I hate to say it, it must be incredibly frustrating from a fan's point of view because yeah, so close but so far seems to be the story of Arsenal over the last few years, and that sucks to hear, I'm
I
sure.
hope that I'm wrong. All right? I hope that I'm wrong, guys. I'm here to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong at Arsenal. That's all I want. I
Yeah,
don't want my
come on,
team.
Arsenal,
Come on, please.
sign Rodrigo, do something. James, so I'm going to let you say second here because I'm kind of intrigued as to who you've got second and who you've got first. So why don't you hit me with who you got second?
I've been going back and forth on this, and to me, I was gonna say Liverpool, Jack, because I think it's an easy choice. You know what they've done this year with that man.
Dude,
He
I can't believe we agree. I
Jack,
can't believe we
Jack,
agree.
Jack. Listen, he had one bad year. Do you think Pep Guardiola is gonna go two back-to-back bad seasons? Yeah, and Jack, a bad season to Man City's finishing third. He's finishing second. You know what this
Yeah, of
guy's
course.
about. You know who he is. The first man to win four Premier League titles in a row. He's won six already. I just think that thing about football, Jack, to me, is that football moves with Pep. And he's going to do something that's going to out of the blue that everybody else is going to catch up with. Bad season last year. But with a couple of players in and out, Kevin De Bruyne gone, and he's been to me the most important Man City player ever, the best Man City player ever. We're in the unknown with Man City, and that's scary to me because
I agree.
like I've seen Pep Guardiola in a compromising position before. Remember 2 seasons ago, we thought they lost their mojo. They were languishing in like mid-table, 15-game winning streak. Champions League final, won the league on a counter, won the League Cup, easy money. That's who they are, and that's who this man is. Football moves with him, and especially the Premier League moves with him. And if he gets it right again, I think Liverpool are going to run him close, but he knows how to get the job done, and that's a big thing for me, Jack.
I I think the biggest thing I look at, and I think it's kind of an underwhelming signing. Ryan Ait-Nouri. Ryan Ait-Nouri, to me, is the biggest indicator that Pep's going to do something different this year. Something different. Because remember, we're going from what 6'2", 6'3" Josko Vardiol as left back, right? To Ryan Ait-Nouri, the left wing back at Wolverhampton Wanderers, who's going to probably be playing left back. Now, what that says to me is we're going to be operating a little bit differently here. Tijani Reinders is an unbelievable football player. I hope that he acclimatizes to the Premier League as effectively as he possibly can because he's a seriously, seriously special player. And Ryan Cherky, bit of a maverick. I think people were kind of surprised by the fee and maybe the lack of competition that he had going on there as well. But yeah, James, I'm not going to doubt Pep when he's got a point to prove. And also, another person who I'm not going to doubt when they've got a point to prove. James, the news life has just been a little quiet on Erling Haaland over the last
Oh,
couple of
Jack, the
years.
way for the disrespect on this man's name is crazy.
So I think there's gonna be a little bit of a, you know what, hang on a second. And also it sucks that he had a knockback in his injury recovery, but Rodrigo will be back at the end of September. I think they have a slow start to the season, but then I just think they start churning out results as we get through. Let's touch on Liverpool. First of all, what do you think of the business? You've got a brand new left back, a brand new right back. You're probably signing Ekitike and Isak. Obviously, rest in peace. We had the tragic loss of Diogo Jota as well. Luis Diaz is gone and moved on to another team. What do you think about Liverpool's business? Florian Wirtz is now a Premier League player. Why after all that I've just said, why are Liverpool not retaining the league?
It's just the unknown to me. The easy pick is Liverpool. Liverpool are the odds-on favorite
I
to win.
agree.
They are. Listen, Liverpool are the favorites, but that without a shadow over that. Look at the business this year. Arguably, probably the best winner we've seen from a team in Premier League history. Again. I don't want to compare it to Real Madrid when they signed 2009 when they signed Benzema, Alonso, and Ronaldo. But what they've been able to do this year, they might break the British chance window back to back years. I mean, back to back times in one season. Bring Pong there, Ekatike, who Jack looks like if he gets it right, serious problem. Serious problem there. A big 6'3" direct attacker, it's a problem there. And obviously
Yeah.
they got rid of Luis Diaz. Obviously the tragic loss of Jota there. Nunez is out the window. It's nice, it's refreshed, it's different. Yeah, the Man City and Liverpool, they're gonna go logger head to head. We get it. I just look at what Guardiola has done when he has something to prove. It's scary, Jack. Yeah, and Liverpool take nothing away from them. I think this is a massive year for Liverpool because the investment that they put in, this is them to go again. This is also, Jack, we're looking at an historic title win if they do win. Why? 21. They go back on top of Manchester United. I think it's been over their head for so many years right now, Jack. They go ahead of Manchester United, and the debate is no debate anymore. They are the greatest English team of all time with that thing about it, with that 21. So there's a lot at stake going on for Liverpool there. And players like Mo Salah, they can really if another Premier League title just stamps himself as probably the greatest Premier League player of all time. It's this sort of thing here. It's this sort of thing here for Liverpool that is massive. But that Pep guy, man. He's different. He is different. I'm just gonna say he's different, Jack.
Guys, we will be proven right or wrong over the next 9 or 10 months. Drop your predictions down below. I think James and I only disagreed on fifth and sixth. I had Manchester United sixth, Newcastle fifth, Spurs not in my top six. James had Man United fifth and Spurs sixth. But then our top fours were the same. We promise we did not talk to each other about it beforehand. Again, it's been too many years talking football together. Our brains are basically the same at this point. Drop a like on the video. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And until next time, we will see you.